Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. My name is Mike E, and for today's video, a bit of a different one, especially since I haven't posted in a while. This is a video entitled, If I Get Famous. As a little kid growing up, I always imagined myself in a celebrity lifestyle or being famous, I always thought like certain aspects of the lifestyle were pretty cool. So it's always something that I've had in my careers as well. The dream careers that I've had growing up were always like something that would get me some sort of level of fame. First it was like a baseball player, it's changed since then, but it's always been something that would get me like some level of fame. That being said, I want to be still a positive influence, a positive person, a good person in this industry. So I laid out some guidelines I want to keep myself accountable for in this video, so I can look back on them, make sure I stay true to them. You guys can hold me accountable for them if you'd like. They're good things to practice in general, not just as a famous person, but in general practice, but just some things to never forget about. Number one would be to never forget where I came from. And I'm not going to stand here and lie to you guys and say I had a really difficult upbringing, because I genuinely had a pretty comfortable life growing up. Middle-class family from California. I've never had to worry about like a meal. I've never had to worry about where I'm going to sleep or anything like that, what shoes I'm going to wear. I've always had that privilege, so I'm very grateful for that. Thank you to my parents for giving me a good, comfortable life, good education, all that stuff. Most I've had to deal with growing up is just getting picked on, casual. It wasn't even severe to a point. It wasn't something that I had to like tell a teacher about or anything like that. It was just like little being picked on. I guess it would count as bullying. That being said, just to not forget about that gratefulness to having those privileges. And should I get in the spot where I can help other people who don't have those privileges, I would love to. I would love to, if I were to get like more money, if I get famous, of course, I'd be making more money. I would love to give back to my community, to people who maybe don't have that privilege, like I said, of knowing where their next meal is coming, knowing what shoes they're going to wear, where they're going to sleep. I'd love to help those people out. And then, of course, I don't want to forget the people that are in my life. I'll be grateful for them. I never want to forget the people. When I moved to Monterey, California, that's when I made my best friends. That's when I made my friends. They're like my buddies, my boys now. I moved there for like my last year of middle school, and then all of my high school years. I did a semester of college over there too before I moved over to do my wrestling training, which let me talk about later. But yeah, I made all my best friends there. Great people, great guys, as well as coworkers that I met, really cool. But yeah, that's where I made my main friend group. I don't want to forget that main friend group that I have. Those of you watching, you probably know who you are. But yeah, never want to forget them. Keep them close to me, no matter even if I don't like have that much time in my life. I want to be able to make time for the people I care about. Like that. Like I said, those friends, my family. Number two is kind of similar to number one. It would be never forget my audience. So I'm lucky enough to have a pretty good following. I'm confident in my following that I've had. Over 500 subscribers that I have here on YouTube, over 400 on followers on Instagram, TikTok, over 140. I'm very grateful for those numbers. And I don't want to forget the audience on the way. I want to keep respecting my audience should I get famous. I'm going to respect my audience either way, of course. But, make sure to make time for that. Make sure to keep me able to make videos for you guys and all that stuff, because I genuinely enjoy making them. It makes me mad when something happens like, I recorded this same video, but just now before this, only to realize that my mic wasn't even plugged in, so I have to do it all over again. But, besides that, I mostly do like making these videos and getting them out to you guys, especially the ones that like help people, like my motivational, I guess you can call them motivational shorts or mindset reels, whatever you want to call them. Sometimes I'll get comments or messages of people saying, hey man, this like genuinely helped me, like this really like hit deep or something like that. Like it's stuff that actually helps people. Or my gym memes, should they actually be a funny one and not the unfunny ones, because sometimes I feel like some of them are better than others. Sometimes they put a laugh or a smile on people's faces. So I want to keep doing that, keep respecting my audience. Should I get famous through content creation? I'm not going to stand there, like if I get famous through content creation, I'm not going to be like, oh, I did this all by myself. I did it for you guys as well. I did it for you guys watching this video, for helping me out. I'm not going to say I did it by myself. I'm going to say like we did it, combined effort, because I can stand here and make the videos all I want, but if no one's watching them, then it wouldn't blow up for any reason. So should I get famous through content creation? I'm not going to like stand there and be like, I did it all by myself, But like I said, I want to keep making the content I make, especially those mindset reels, which is actually going to segue into my next bit. Number three, I just want to be a good influence. Now, without naming any names, without like calling people out or anything like that, a lot of content that I see out there from certain influencers is just not the most positive content. It's probably not something that's shaping us in a good way. How can I say this? It's just content that isn't, I feel like it's content that's probably just negatively affecting people or just being a bad influence, showing harmful habits, or just doing stuff that like dumb sometimes, or like stuff that shouldn't be done. Just like I said, just not being a good influence. I feel like that's a lot of content that I see nowadays, unfortunately. So I just want to be the opposite of that. There's a bunch of positive content creators out there too. I want to be just like them. I want to be a good influence. I want to be able, like I said, put a smile on people's faces, or just help them in some way, be educational. Because I do know that a lot of celebrities or influencers, people sometimes who really admire them, will look up to them, and they will maybe copy some of their habits or take habits from them. So I want to make sure I'm teaching good habits. I want to teach people like I said, healthy habits, like exercise, whether it just be you playing a sport or doing something like that you enjoy, fun to be active. Balanced eating is another thing I say. There's some more specific ways I can actually do this. Number one would be like never promoting something that I don't believe in, or not promoting a bad thing. Before saying that, I do already have a sponsorship. I'm sponsored by Definity Athletics, the jacket I'm wearing right now. They make gym apparel that's also focused on mental health, and I'm proud to say I'm a sponsored athlete by them. My D20 gets you 20% off. That's something I genuinely believe in. I'll wear their clothes out and about. This stuff I genuinely like to wear, genuinely believe in. I'm not gonna go out and promote something that I don't believe in. I'm not gonna, if I get offered like a supplement, like this is just an example, like a supplement that I know doesn't work but would pay me money, I'm not gonna promote it to you guys. That's just not fair to you guys, and that's just a harmful way of going about business, So unless I would genuinely use it or genuinely believe in it, I'm not gonna promote it to you guys, especially if it's a scam. I'm not gonna be promoting it to you guys. I'm gonna do my research as much as I can before accepting any endorsements or anything like that, should I get famous, of course. I know it's odd me saying this as someone who doesn't really have relatively all that big of a platform to be talking about endorsements and all that stuff, but just to hold myself accountable in the future. Another thing that can just go for anyone, is just practice respect among anyone. Treating whoever it may be, if it's the CEO of a movie company, a movie studio that I might be working with, or just the janitor of that building, I want to treat them with the same respect for everyone. I want to treat everyone with respect, The last one being transparency. I just want to be an honest person, I don't want to lie about things in my life, Of course, I want to keep a private life too, keep that private, but I'm going to be honest about the things that happen in the public, let's say I get a movie role, right? And I know you can't tell now, but normally I go to the gym. I've lost some significant amount of muscle recently because of my injury that I got. It's a tricep tendon. I haven't been getting back in the gym though, doing legs, doing pull days soon. Probably tomorrow, starting tomorrow, I'm gonna do pull days. I've been doing legs. Won't do push days until that's completely not a problem, just because I don't want to risk it. If I make it worse, then that's more time off. So I'm just waiting until I don't feel any pain whenever I do certain heavy movements with my tricep. Back to the subject. Let's say I get a movie role and I look particularly good in one scene, and very I have a particular scene where I look very good. I'm gonna tell you guys, if there was editing in that shot, I'll be like, hey, this is pretty edited. I don't look like that in real life, or this was perfect pump, perfect lighting and all that stuff. I want to show what I would normally look like, So I'll be completely transparent about that kind of stuff, because I want to be in superhero movies. Superhero movies are awesome to me, so I'd love to have a superhero role. Naturally, they do show their physique a lot, and I'm sure I have to assume that maybe there might be some editing going on. Not to discredit the people with those physiques, those actors, they still put in a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of, like I said, hard work to do that. Should I have a scene like that and it gets edited, I'm gonna tell you guys, hey, I don't look like that, that's edited, that's for the movie. So yeah, just be transparent about that, and just transparent about other things, just be an honest person, basically. Tag along with that whole, with the whole physique stuff. I'm not gonna also tell you guys something like, hey, this specific workout got me ready for this role, buy it or something like that, buy the program. So I'm not going to do that. The only advice I would give is genuine advice that I'm actually doing, not just lies. Because sometimes I see videos where it's hey, I did this certain exercise to do this, or to get like this, and then it's and it's just probably an exercise that probably isn't the best, I'm not going to do stuff like that. Same thing with supplements. I'm not going to be like, hey, this supplement got me where I am right now. I'm not going to do that, Like I said, this goes back to the endorsing things. It would only be stuff I genuinely believe in, and I would tell you the truths of it too. I'm not going to extend the capabilities of it. So that's basically some of the guidelines I want to hold myself to. There's way more that I'm going to practice that I just didn't end the video, but there's way more I'm going to keep myself accountable for. How am I going to get famous? The first one, the main focus I'm focusing on right now is acting. So I'm currently looking for some acting classes. I've taken theater classes, I've taken college level theater classes in high school before. It was college class, but in high school it's hard to explain. I've taken that. I've taken a bunch of drama classes. and I'm currently looking for acting classes. I'm gonna get my physique up so I can better fit roles that I'd like to be in, you know. I told you before, I trained in pro wrestling, and the thing is that I'm putting it on hold right now just because I don't want to stretch myself so thin and like try to do so many other things at the same time, because at the same time I'm gonna have a full-time job right now because I want to save up some more money so I can move to LA, because right now I'm out of California. I moved out of California for right now, so I want to have a full-time job, do acting classes, and keep making content as well. I just don't want to stretch myself so thin. That's why I didn't put pro wrestling in the mix as of now. You know, I'm very grateful. The experience I had for pro wrestling was awesome. You know, it was great. I'm gonna talk about that in my next video. It was really cool. But for now, I'm putting that on hold. Yeah, the main focus is acting, do my acting classes, build up some more money, move to LA, try to make a bit there. At the same time, I try to write my own projects, you know, so I've actually been writing a few things. In the past, I've written a Spider-Man 2099 movie, though I changed way too much of it. I realized, I read it back and I'm like, hey, this is not as comic accurate as I'd like it to be. So, since I don't have the money to be buying comics and stuff like that, I watched Comic Storian's video, may he rest in peace, his video on the Spider-Man 2099 comic. So I've been taking it from there and trying to put it into the movie that I'm writing. So yeah, I've been writing a Spider-Man 2099 movie that I want to turn into like a trilogy of sorts, you know? So I've been working on the first one. I've been working on 2 projects at once. Whenever I run out of like good creative ideas for like one of my projects, I'm like, okay, I don't want to just write for the sake of it. Let me take a step back. Let me work on my other one that I've been wanting to work on. The other project I've been working on too, at the same time as the Spider-Man 2099 one, would be a sitcom based upon a Mexican family, more so revolved around, by the way, I forgot to mention, I write these with the intention of me playing the main protagonist, you know, so I want to be Spider-Man 2099, you know, and in this sitcom that I'm telling you about, I want to be the main character, which would be a college kid that's trying to become a movie writer, coincidentally, from an immigrant family coming from Mexico, moving all the way up. I'm thinking Bakersfield, California would be the main setting of it, because I actually used to live in Bakersfield too. It would be about an immigrant family moving to Bakersfield, and you know, it's like his first day of college, so it'd be his college life and all that stuff. I want to make it, you know, like I said, a sitcom, so a comedy, a few other characters and sharing what they want to do in their lives. But yeah, just like a little sitcom that I've been trying to write. In terms of comedy, I've loved comedy movies and shows growing up. Probably not the best thing to watch when you're a kid, but I watched Family Guy growing up. Big fan of Seth MacFarlane, he's really cool.
There you go, all fixed. Turns out a half-eaten meatball was clogging up the intake.
Oh. Well, did you save it?
No.
You bastard.
I feel like I sound like I'm fanboying right now, whatever it's called, but like, it'd be really cool to work with Seth MacFarlane on some sort of project someday. And of course, there's a bunch of actors I'd love to work with too, like people I've admired growing up, you know. Comedy, I have a lot of different sources for comedy that I can take inspiration on, the styles of comedy that I can take inspiration on. Don't take my gym memes as like a way of judging my comedy. Sometimes, you know, I know some of my gym memes are going to be funnier than others. Like I said, I'm writing that Spider-Man 2099 movie trilogy, hopefully, and a sort of like a sitcom that I've been writing. So I'm trying to write as well as not just act. I'm trying to write some projects that I want to be in as well. Be, of course, content creation. Should I get famous through that? That'd be pretty cool. I know I haven't made long videos in the past and my uploads got spotty, but now I feel like I'm going to be able to get back to making videos consistently, editing them out. There's a chance I do my second channel again, which is just me talking about video games or movies or TV shows I like. That's a low chance though, just because the editing in those took very long. I want to put my main focus into this channel, make sure none of the quality deteriorates here and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the way. Those are really like the ways that I'm hoping I can like gain some fame. And it's not just about like gaining the fame. It's just stuff that I enjoy doing. You know, these movies that I was writing about, I genuinely enjoy writing them. Drama classes were sometimes pretty fun for me. Making content for you guys, it's something that I enjoy. You know, so it's not just like getting into these jobs for the sake of getting fame. It's something I enjoy doing. You know, it's something that'd be cool to do. Something I'd love to be able to go to work and it's like you're going to play. Just getting like paid to like do something that you love doing is always something I've wanted to do in my life. So yeah, that's if I get famous. It'd be pretty cool. I think with that being said, have a great day everyone. Work hard, be mighty.